Alrighty, so like I said, the lower five, pretty interesting choices. So I'm really, really curious on how the top fives are.
Yeah, I'm having
So
fun with this one.
yeah, let's go into number fives, Eric.
Okay, another Zack Snyder's Justice League quote. Dad, whatever happens, I want you to know your kid was one of them, Dad. One of the best of the best. Barry Allen, The Flash.
Oh, the Flash.
Ooh,
What?
about time we got the
So,
Flash in here. So he was another superhero that got me into like physics and shit because, but also Barry Allen as a character, Barry Allen, 9 years old, and then all of a sudden he finds out that his mom died, and then the only other person in the room, his father, gets arrested for a crime he never committed. So how does he choose to spend his time in public education and college? Trying to be a criminal scientist so that way he could clear his dad's name. Like that's very very bold of him to do, and also that in a way Bruce Wayne views Barry Allen as him if he took a lighter path, which is why Bruce Wayne always seems to get along with Barry.
Hmm.
But also the accident that turned Barry Allen into the speedster he is, the Scarlet Speedster, is that the Speed Force. It didn't just make him super fast, but basically the way I interpret it, especially how Zack Snyder's Justice League does it with visual effects, he is literally interfaced with. So Barry Allen's ability to learn is impeccable. Like he can read super super fast. Like aside from criminal science, he's also able to study up on theoretical physics, which is how he's able to study about the Speed Force.
Okay, there you go. Alrighty, cool.
And and by God, speaking of time travel, by God, the the scene where he entered the Speed Force in Zack Snyder's Justice League, I can see why that movie got a fucking Oscar. Like fucking he gets shot by a parademon, feels like he fucked up, and then the whole world ends because the Mother Boxes United destroyed the world. Barry goes into the Speed Force, and the only thing that he can focus on is he's got to save the world, and he's doing it not just to save his new team, but he's also doing it to save his dad. And he decides, fuck it, I'm breaking I'm breaking my limits. I'm going back in time to save the world, and he does it.
Yes, he does.
Like shit, like that was such a like even supposed to be the debut of the on-screen Justice League. That was such an intense, raw moment. Like, damn, Barry Allen, man.
Fair
Ah,
enough. The Flash. Alrighty.
oh, and
Wow.
and also and also disclaimer. This is not a this is not this is not me getting excited over the Flash movie. I like Barry Allen the character. I'm not excited for the movie.
Yeah,
Fair.
fuck Ezra Miller.
Yeah, that guy's a weirdo.
He
Yep, and
needs
Warner Brothers
professional
decided to come
help.
around. I think I think Ezra Miller might have taken Run Barry Run a little too literally.
Okay. What gave you that idea?
Okay.
Alrighty.
The dude needs
Okay.
professional
That
help.
was
Yeah.
an insane rant tonight. But yeah, number 5, Barry Allen's The Flash.
Alrighty. So, how about you, Nicholas? Who's on your top? Who's on your number five?
Dormammu, I've come to bargain.
Oh my god, I got one up.
Not intentionally, dude.
It still happened.
Yes, it's Doctor Strange. I find him more impressive than his DC counterpart. I'm just getting that out of the way. I think it's a better. I think his story is better. I think his look is better. And I think his powers are better. He's also just objectively smart. He
Oh,
got
yeah.
a PhD and an MD at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
That's impressive. And yes, is he an arrogant asshole? Absolutely. The best way I can describe him is Magic Tony Stark.
Yep.
Yeah.
But still, I like him. I think the look is cool. Well, really nothing left to add.
Alrighty, wow.
Fair. Okay, so yeah, my turn. Number 5. Well, it did actually allow you to do this. He brought you face to face with the master of the mystic arts.
What?
Yep. I am Dr. Stephen Strange.
Freaking Mental Link again! Wow!
Oh yeah, like you guys know, I love Doctor Strange. I mean, if my cosplay showed anything yesterday about it, and like last year at LA Comic Con, people love Doctor Strange, and I felt really humbled that so many people wanted to see me as Doctor Strange. The guy is just overall, yes, he is one of the best sorcerers in comics. I mean, the threats the guy goes up to, like Dormammu, Blackheart, Nightmare, Mephisto, going on toe to toe with even Doctor Doom at times. It's like the guy is like we know, the Avengers handle all the physical threats of the world or the universe. He handles all the spiritual and other side. Very much of entertaining character. Happy that Benedict Cumberbatch is able to bring this character to life in the MCU. Yes, like some people are mixed on both movies. Actually, there are some people who are mixed on both movies. I mean, I enjoyed the first one more, but that's just me. So I'm curious to see what else he's going to do, because as we know, he is going to return. So let's see some more magic here, Marvel. Let's go into some more of that, because I love magic. I'm a magic guy. I like it. That's my number 5.
Nice. Wow. 3 Mental Links in a row. Holy crap.
Wait, well, okay, what did I miss? So Nicholas was Doctor Strange and Brandon was Doctor Strange?
Yep.
Mm. Okay then.
Nady boy.
Alrighty. We mentioned a lot of like powerful superheroes and all that. We mentioned Turtles, we mentioned all that. How about we step back a bit? More so, let's shrink a bit. After all, we gotta look after the little guy. Yep. Scott Lang, Ant-Man.
Nice.
Yeah, I said it before, I say it again. I am not a fan of Hank Pym. Mainly because of how he is. But my first version of Ant-Man that I fully loved was Scott Lang. And yeah, most people got through Ant-Man through the movies. I somehow got introduced to Scott Lang through Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes. That was my first introduction to him. And admittedly, he's a very relatable guy. He wants to help Cassie. He wants to cure her illness. Yeah, it sucks that he has to go to a life of crime, being a petty thief and all that, but then again, he does have a good reason for doing all this. It wasn't until being double-crossed by, well, Darren Cross to get the Ant-Man suit, and once he realized what happens, he decided to take out the mantle of Ant-Man and kick Darren Cross's butt and becomes the new Ant-Man. Even when I was surprised and I found out that was Kristen Freeman voicing Scott Lang in that cartoon, I was surprised.
Yep.
But I think what made me really, really love Scott was Paul Rudd's take in the MCU. As we all know, the first movie, it was really fun. And an interesting way to end up Phase 2, ironically.
Yeah, it was not bad closure. Not the greatest, but still, it was good.
And it was a good introduction to the character himself, because yeah, Cassie, she's not sick, but he still wants to help her. Yeah, and if I had to compare him to someone, I would say he's a lot like Katetsu from Tiger and Bunny, and Nathan Drake from Uncharted, because yeah, he's a thief, but similar to Katetsu, he's a fighter with a heart of gold. Like, out of all the MCU characters, I'd say he has one of the most fun-loving personalities. Is that he's very goofy, he's very quirky. That first prison scene where he was like, when he punched a cellmate, it was like, I'm gonna be Scott. Like, wow, some way to have some goodbye party from jail. But after taking up the mantle of Ant-Man, he really proved that he is an underdog. Yeah, he's not the smartest, and he's not the strongest or the fastest. But he does surprise people with his own wit and with his own heart of gold. He actually proves that he is one of the biggest heroes. Even he is really small when he shrinks down. And even the other appearances too. Civil War, when they brought in freaking Giant Man. Oh man, that was pretty funny. And of course, Ant-Man 2, Ant-Man and the Wasp, really get closer to part of the story arc he had through. And yeah, he was the MVP for Endgame. Thanks to accidentally coming out of that quantum realm. Scott, you're talking about a time machine? No. Okay, yeah, it's a time machine.
So you're basically telling me that you based your whole theory off of Back to the Future?
Well, not entirely that, but yeah, kinda, but it can help us. I even love that little rant or later on too about like time travel being like very mechanical until you realize, wow, Back to the Future is a bunch of bullshit. Yeah, some of the best lines come for Scott and Lewis easily. Those two, they just make me laugh. And yeah, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I will admit, they at least got Scott's character right in that film. Like, he's a celebrity, but he still has that heart of gold, and he stays true to the line, always looking out for the little one. He's always looking out, well, he's always looking after Hope, he's always looking after Hank, and Janet, and even his daughter Cassie. And yeah, I wish the ending for Quantumania could have been a little better, but that line he said was pretty badass though. So yeah, Scott Lang, you may not be like the biggest heroes compared to Iron Man and Captain America, but you'll always be one of my favorite characters and underrated superheroes, and one of my favorite MCU characters. That's why I had to honor you in number 5.
That's always good, man.
Oh yeah.
So,
All right.
How about you, Kevin?
This is my second Mental Link. Brandon, I'm gonna one up you. Wakanda Forever. Black Panther. But the fifth one, the one tied with him. Last night I saw a superhero. He was black. He said, "This is for the streets. Black Lightning's back."
Black Lightning.
Yep, Jefferson Pierce, aka Black Lightning. All right, real quick, T'Challa. First of all, rest in peace, Chadwick. You were great, but man, his character was great in the MCU. Hell, even in other media, like Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Like first episode, he's introduced. He takes out the entire team, minus Hulk and Thor, but he takes them out. I mean, like that's impressive. Also, he hacks into the Avengers mansion like that. You don't do that. You just don't. And just everything he does is great. Also, his banter with Hulk when he's just right there waiting with Hulk, he's meditating. Hulk's like, "Ugh, you're too loud." He just looks up like, "What?" It was funny. I like characters that are just silent, but you can tell like what they're thinking just by their body language.
I always love that archetype.
Oh yeah. And also, like during that whole Skrulls arc, he was still protecting his city of Wakanda. And yeah, he didn't trust the Avengers because of the whole Skrull thing, but he learned to trust them enough to sacrifice himself during the Kree invasion arc. My God, that was such. Oh my God, if they killed him off, I would have cried. He was my favorite. Like, come on, he's just a great character, and MCU was great with him. Civil War was awesome. His movie was great, and even Infinity War, like the Bombay scene, just the way he's chanting, getting his people hyped up, like yes. And when he got snapped away, my God, I was like, no, not T'Challa. Fuck all that, man. Just and yeah, you know what's okay. As much as we could shit on the new Avengers series on Disney, they at least gave T'Challa his own season, and I appreciate that. So that was great, you know. Yeah, Wakanda Forever wasn't the best. It wasn't. I wouldn't even say it's that good, but it was a good way to send him off. Not the Black Lightning though. Oh, an old-timey hero from the old age. Like, god damn, like this man, he's essentially Static's mentor. He was great. His powers are similar, but he's got more control, making barriers, shooting precisely like a pistol. And just overall, he was great. And like Ant-Man, he's a dad. He cares for his daughters and his wife. even when they start developing powers, he's teaching them, and I appreciate that. Plus, Young Justice gave him a fucking season. And my God, the way he just shits on everyone, because of all the secret stuff, to the point where now he's the head of the Justice League because he's that humane. I love that, and just that's what I love about Justice Person. He's not like a complex hero. He's not going to backstab anyone. He's just an honest guy trying to be good. And whether he's in the suit or as a principal at a school, he's doing his best. And you know what? That's all we got to ask for. Plus, the fucking CW series was great. Like, oh my God.
One of the only good ones they had.
Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. I mean, it's not wrong. Yeah, Black Lightning, two great heroes that deserve their mantles. That's my number 5.
Alrighty.
Wow.
Alrighty. So, number 4s.
Number 4. I saw young Americans get killed by the very weapons that I built to protect them.
Oh.
And I had become part of a system that was comfortable with zero accountability. I had my eyes open. I realized that I have a lot more to offer to this world than just creating things that blow up. Anthony, Tony, Stark, or Iron Man. Now, that quote that I gave you guys, that was also the quote that actually solidified how I was going to approach being an engineer in college after I visited the Hiroshima Memorial. So, anyway, back onto the character. Tony Stark, or Iron Man. So, yeah, Tony Stark, billionaire playboy, genius billionaire playboy philanthropist. By God. The guy was basically on top of the fucking world. Like, he's super rich. He gets all the fucking luxurious supercars. Suck it, Andrew Tate. Okay, well, I love you, man. Don't kill me.
Oh, boy.
And he also gets, like, all the gorgeous women. And he's super fucking smart in technology. But then one day, he goes to Afghanistan for a missile tour. And then terrorists decide to attack him, and then they decide to hold him prisoner. Now, that was a moment that changed Tony Stark's life forever, because now his entire life is being marked by trauma and consequences and living with his past demons and failures.
Mm-hmm.
Like, damn, like, what was it? This guy also can't catch a break, aside from the almost Herculean purpose he put himself towards. Ever since he broke out of that cave, the only thing he could do now is build suits of iron, and every time he builds another Iron Man suit, he's thinking like an engineer. He's solving problems every single time. He's very adaptable, very intelligent. He's so many things. Like, he's basically the James Bond of Marvel.
That's the only way to say it.
Well, I mean, because he's the type of man that men want to be and that women want to be with.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
But yeah, I don't really have anything else to say for him. There's so much I would say about Tony Stark, but yeah, Tony Stark, Iron Man.
Alrighty. So, how about you, Nicholas?
Okay. Uh-huh. All right, enough. I don't need another speech from some impotent whack job whose mother didn't love him, rationalizing why he needs to conquer the universe.
Oh.
It's Star-Lord.
Star-Lord.
All right, first of all, fantastic taste in music. Even if it's picked by James Gunn, I don't care. It's still good music.
Yeah.
Second of all, I love the guns, because here's the thing. In the movies, they're just basic energy shooters. In the comics, they shoot the fucking elements. Mm-hmm. Wind, earth, water, and fire. Dude, that is awesome.
I wish James Gunn would have used that, but...
Oh, well.
Can't have everything.
Yes, he's the leader of the Guardians, well, modern leader of the Guardians.
Yeah.
Because, and I mean, yes, usually his mother dies and he gets taken by aliens, becomes an outlaw. It just hurts every time you see it. Whether the Chitauri shoot him, whether the Chitauri shoot her, or she dies because his asshole father gave her a tumor.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, that is still one of my favorite scenes of the MCU. It broke my heart to put that tumor in her head. Dolly Zoom comes in.
What?
Now I know that sounds bad. You just yeah, and
He
people,
Leroy Jenkins, that motherfucker.
yeah, and what I love about that is people then complained that when he attacked Thanos in Infinity War, that it was out of character. No, dude, that is exactly how we reacted to emotional shit in the past.
Yeah, so it's like
Irrationally. That's called staying within character.
Should have shot him like you did with Ego, but whatever.
He what?
she's saying she should
shot
have shot him instead of just bashing his head.
Yeah, but he would have hit Mantis.
Yeah.
No, he wouldn't have. Just saying.
Point blank range, dude. Her hands were right there.
Nicholas, can you just shut up and move on, please?
I don't know how he comes up with all of these plans or how he somehow gets every single girl he does, but god damn it, he is fun to watch.
Yeah, he is.
I even love how Guardians of the Galaxy 3 actually wrapped up his character arc in life.
Yeah, going home. Closure.
It is. But of course, there's that little tang saying that, yeah, the legendary Star-Lord will return.
Yeah, and I have a movie idea for that.
All
no,
right.
I know it is, so I'm just gonna ignore it. Are you done? You good? Everything
Yeah.
good? Okay, great. Let's move on because I don't want to hear that idiot.
Oh, wait, just one last thing. Hey, you blue bastard! That's me! That tape belongs to me! Hooked on a feeling! Blue Sweet!
What's that?
1974! That song and that
belongs-
tape belongs to me!
Oh!
Yeah, you know what? That's like one of the few times he's actually right. Like that's not cool, man. That's not
You don't mess with a man's mixtape.
You shouldn't have killed my mom and squished my Walkman.
Goddamn.
All right, so my number 4 is my last tie.
Oh.
And judging by the shirt and also what I'll be doing as cosplaying for LA Comic Con this year.
Oh.
Yay,
Yep.
Buttman.
The
Bruce
bat.
Wayne, a.k.a. Batman.
No, Brennan, it's Buttman.
To you it is. You have a thing for Batman, apparently.
The Buttman.
But who else can tie with Batman?
Ooh.
Haven't you heard? Don't you know that guy? That's Dick Grayson, the first Robin, and Nightwing.
Oh my god.
Yes. Teacher and student
And students.
has to go together. Bruce Wayne Batman is like we know we've seen his story through multiple iterations. Like it's almost like we're kind of sick of it at this point. But the things this guy has done and what he goes through, based like in his own city, he faces off with like some of the most weirdest and like overpowered people, like mutated crocodiles, like a dude who can make hallucinations of your greatest fears, even like literally an immortal assassin. Like the guy's rogues gallery is one of the best in comic book history. But it's also like what he does. Like he even forms the Justice League, befriends Superman. Like he is his bro. Like everything they do together, they always like try to talk to one another to see about everything else. And Jesus, yes, every single other iteration of Batman is great, but best ones are still Kevin Conroy, the animated series, rest in peace, Christian Bale, yeah, and also Robert Pattinson, Ben Affleck, Troy Baker, and also Roger Craig Smith. He's a good Batman.
Mm-hmm.
just oh my god, the suits. Just like Iron Man, Batman has his suits. Like so many good ones. Like I may be one of the like those people like niche in there, but yes, as much as I love the Nolan trilogy, I think Batman's suit in Batman Begins was actually the better suit than the one in Dark Knight. I'm actually gonna be honest about that.
You're not the only one who thinks that way. That was a really good suit.
It was.
Here, here.
But yeah, let's go into best boy that made a dynamic duo possible.
Oh,
Richard.
our boy Richard.
Richard, John Grayson, Robin, and Nightwing.
Yeah.
Like parallels between these two is like it cannot be like a coincidence. It cannot be a coincidence. Like Dick's parents get killed in a trapeze accident. Seeing them die in front of him, like while Bruce Wayne was there, very coincidence. But seeing like how he actually figures out that Bruce Wayne is Batman when no one else can figure it out, and it's like, no, I want to help you. Let me be your sidekick. Let me be Robin. And so then we got the dynamic duo. But as we know, like even from the whole thing with the animated series, he quits because he never wants to stay in Batman's shadow or let Batman's like huge influence like take over him and not be who he is. And that's, oh my god, when he came back as Nightwing. Oh my god, it's so good. DC, Warner Brothers, whoever it is, why do you hate this character? Tell me. Like literally, like, do you guys hate this character now? It doesn't make any sense. Like, this is literally like these two are the big, like they were the reason why we get team ups in comic books. You can't have a dynamic duo or a team up without mentioning these two because they're so similar. That's why I see Richard Grayson as Batman's true son, because he sees him as who he is. Even like honestly, Eric, I'm pretty sure he probably agrees on this one. How he became how he actually took over as Batman in Batman Bad Blood, telling Damian like, you never want to wear this suit because if you wear this suit, it takes you down a path that you will never crawl yourself away out of. Like he didn't want to wear the cowl, but he had to, and
Because
that's
Bruce
why.
Wayne is considered dead.
That's why so many people would just see Nightwing as the next successor for Batman, even though he doesn't want it. And that's why I have to talk about these two together. Mentor and student. Batman and Nightwing.
Nice.
Go ahead, Nate.
Alrighty, for my number. Oh, son of a bitch.
You're fucking with me.
I'm not fucking with you. It's not a full-on mental link. I just mental link with you for Nightwing.
I'm walking away.
Yeah, Nate, why'd you have that sound?
I'm not shitting you, because like I forgot who my number 4 was. Then I just looked over and I was like, son of a bitch. But yeah, yeah, Dick Grayson, Nightwing. One of my favorite Batman family members. My first exposure to him was through the animated series with his backstory. He comes from his family. They're a bunch of acrobatics for the circus. But after losing his parents and his brother, he had no one. It is pretty fucked up. And yeah, the Batman Forever movie may be hit or miss. I will admit, I did get a little emotional when Two-Face killed the Graysons. So, feeling guilty for what happened, Bruce Wayne decided to take up the mantle and decided to raise Grayson. He decided to take him in as a family, take him in as like a little son in a way. And that eventually led him to become Robin, and he was pretty good as Robin. He was. But like Brandon said, he did not want to be in the shadow forever. So he decided to leave and decided to do his own thing, which eventually led him to become the leader of the Teen Titans. And that confrontation with Deathstroke really broke him and forced him to come out of Robin and out come Nightwing. Not only he has like a really cool superhero name, but the costume alone looks amazing. I would say that's probably one of my favorite costumes in comics. And even after overcoming that struggle and eventually abandoning the Robin title, he does a much better job as Nightwing. Like, he's a lot more serious now. He even does his own thing. And Jesus Christ, dude, like, I know you're freaking athletic, but how strong is that endurance for staying awake for 48 hours straight?
Well,
Wow.
hold on. Did Nate and Brandon just double mental link with Nightwing and Batman?
No, just
Nightwing.
Nightwing.
Just
Okay,
Nightwing.
thank God. I was like, what the fuck, guys? Sorry.
It would have
Go
been
ahead.
funny, though, but hey. But yeah. Nightwing, even after, like, yeah, he becomes, like, a better leader. He becomes, like, his own superhero team. Even though I do question that 48-hour lack of sleep, that was still impressive. And even at the end of the day, he was still able to find some happiness, even ending up with a relationship with Starfire. And yeah, obviously the main OTP for me for DC, I still ship that. I can't really add much since Brandon already covered most of it, and I feel like someone else is going to talk about Nightwing later on, so I'll just leave it at that. Nightwing, one of my favorite Batman family members.
Oh yeah.
I remember in the original list you put him at number 9, and I was gonna rip your head off.
No. He was number 7.
He was still gonna rip your head off.
Yeah.
I mean, you pissed me off in the original one too, Kevin. So I was getting even.
Either way. How about
All
you,
right.
Kevin? Number 4.
All right. Another member of the Justice League, the last surviving son of Mars.
Yes.
Yes, John Jones, aka the Martian freaking Manhunter. Oh my God. I never knew Martians could be so amazing. Wow, that kind of sounded wrong, but you know what? That's fine. Okay. In a way, he's pretty much like Superman. He kind of aimed for the last survivor of his home planet of Mars. He came to Earth and he didn't know what he was doing, you know? Though the difference was, I think he was older than Clark when he came, so...
Yes, he was.
So, yeah, he had to adapt a lot faster. And honestly, that sucks, you know? Because his family, like, the difference is, he had a family on Mars. He knew them. So for them to be gone, and then him be here, I'm just like, damn, that's... At least Clark was a baby, so he wouldn't know, but damn.
Oh, wait, yeah, this just popped in my head just now after all these years.
What's up?
DC actually destroyed Mars.
Yeah, he did.
DC obliterated Mars, and so now it's gone from that solar system. Holy shit!
Well, shit, that's like Dragon Ball Z flying up the moon.
What the fuck happened?
Yeah.
Damn, okay then. Well, that makes it worse. No, but in all seriousness, John Jones is he's a great guy. I mean, he's pretty much trying to adapt to life. He's created his own identity as John Smith or John Jones.
John Jones. It was John Jones.
John Jones. And as a police detective, he's been doing good. I mean, as the Justice League, like I remember the Justice League cartoon. His design was cool. I loved his design.
Even his voice, it was so like the actor was so good doing it.
Oh, it's just so great. I'm sorry, I can't take it seriously when he's outside. It's in and out. Okay, I'll compose myself. Sorry. But yeah, his powers are impressive. Telekinesis, telepathy, the ability to change your arm, change your body, flight. Just wow! Like this guy is the full package. I can see why he's one of the few people that can hold up to Superman.
Mm-hmm.
But my God, I think one of my favorite moments from John Jones is the Christmas special in Justice League Unlimited, when he came to the Clark household to celebrate Christmas. Oh my God! I remember when Mama Kent gave him a sword. She's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, it's too big." He grew his body. It fits. I'm like, ah, Jean. And yeah, he's just an amazing character. And even in Young Justice, he was supportive of his niece Megan. I'm just like, that's really great. Kind of sucks he got killed off pretty easily in Apocalypse War.
Oh no! He wasn't killed off.
Oh, he wasn't?
No, remember he got turned into a cyborg.
Oh Oh no! They did my boy like that.
Yeah, they did him dirty.
We know Apocalypse War left a bad taste in everybody's mouth.
Man, you know, hashtag rights for Martians, man. Hashtag Marvin the
Martian Lives Matter, MLM.
Yeah, MLM. Let's start that movement. Make that shirt.
So Kevin, don't forget Zack Snyder's Justice League. Brief appearance, but still cool.
Yeah. So where the fuck was he in the final battle? Just saying. But yeah, overall, he was a great character. I want more of him. And you know what? I'm gonna say it. Even Supergirl had a decent interpretation of John Jones. I liked it.
Yeah,
for how brief he was. Yeah, he was there, and he was pretty cool. So yeah, John Jones, gotta love the guy. That's my number 4.
Nice.
All right, so since
we're going.
All right, number 3.
To our bronze.
Whatever life holds in store for me, I'll never forget these words. With great power comes great responsibility.
Son of a bitch.
What?
Who am I? I'm Spider-Man.
Eric, you misspelled it. It's Spooderman.
Yeah, Peter Benjamin Parker, Spider-Man.
No, it's Peter Pooper.
So, Peter Parker. So, I know the TASM movies kind of dived into this a little bit, but basically, his 2 parents just happen to be SHIELD agents. They get through. He gets left on his uncle and aunt's doorstep, Aunt May and Uncle Ben. Now, Peter Parker, ever since that incident, he's not had a normal life since then. His life was very far from the definition of normal.
Yeah.
Ever since he was left on Uncle Ben and Aunt May's doorstep, he worked hard because he thought he did something to cause his parents leaving. But it's like, no, they took him in with open arms and became the mother and father he was supposed to have. And then when he was 15 years old in the comics, or no matter what interpretation you look at it, we know the origin. He irresponsibly let a criminal walk up to Uncle Ben and shoot him right in front of him. And seriously, don't I'm just like, what was it? Like, even as a kid, I wasn't able to really like get emotional behind Cliff Robertson's death. But the more I got invested with Spider-Man, like, oh my god, no, not since how their last interaction went down.
Yep.
So yeah, and ever since then, like, Peter Parker made it his responsibility to make sure that nobody else in New York City has to go through the same kind of trauma that he went through. But at the same time, when he's going through high school and whatever, he pretty much goes through every struggle that us young boys go through in our formative years. We were probably a bunch of nerds. We probably got picked on by the jocks in the football team. Never got girlfriends. Never really got laid until like later on in life. And then, but then like the more he starts developing into like a charismatic young adult in college, he goes through a lot more terrible shit, but he's more charismatic. He becomes more confident in himself. And like, yes, he has to struggle to pay bills. He's struggling to juggle everything. Make sure his Aunt May's okay, get through college, get a job in science, and also be Spider-Man. He's juggling 5 different things and also trying to make sure that like his girl's okay. Gwen Stacy.
Also the one thing. To fix this damn door.
Oh yeah. Brendan, give me rent.
You'll get your rent when you fix this damn door.
Tell me Maguire.
So, what was it? Aside from Gwen Stacy, who is definitely one of Peter Parker's best love interests, rest in peace. Mary Jane Watson was also his most iconic love interest, and I still find it bullshit to this day that ever since One More Day, they've been trying to retcon that marriage.
Yeah, that was some bullshit.
For all the people who love Spider-Man but don't know the comics, they were married in 1987 in the Amazing Spider-Man series.
Yep.
So yeah, Peter Parker, Spider-Man.
Nice.
Alrighty.
How about you though, Nicholas?
My final tie, and yes, I know I've only had 2.
Okay.
You killed innocent people. You asked the sea for mercy.
Oh,
Aquaman.
Aquaman.
Oh!
Aquaman.
I didn't expect you to say Aquaman. Okay.
And of course, then I'm not a man. I'm an animal.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh,
Beast
dude,
Boy.
you did Aquaman and Beast Boy?
Yes.
Yep.
Dude.
One who talks to the animals and one who becomes the animals. Yes. Now, Aquaman, yes, he is a Namor ripoff. I mean, that is undeniable, okay? But he is different enough that it works. Which is more than I can say for some other copycats. Seriously. But I mean, just the fact. I mean, yeah. Eric said a lot of this, but there's also the little fact that he doesn't really belong in either world. And I know what that's like. I have been rejected by pretty much a lot of things in life that I love, but that's just what happens. So he has to make his own path.
Mm-hmm.
And goddamn does he do it. And he has one of the most hardcore scenes in comics. He's in the desert. He's dehydrated. So what does he do? He finds some blood and he rubs it on his face. Because goddamn, that is hardcore.
Yep.
And now Beast Boy. Let's agree, we all knew him from the Teen Titans show first.
Yep.
And yes, it is weird that every animal he turns into is green.
Yeah.
But that's just part of the charm, man. Yes, he is funny, he is the Joker, but he can't get serious when you need to, especially in his season.
Ooh, yeah.
Yes, got real in that 5th season. And good God. He actually has to become a leader in that season, which is not something you expect. But he does a damn good job.
Honestly, yeah.
Especially considering it is a ragtag team with the most random powers possible. I mean, we got a guy who opens rifts in space with a trumpet, a Mexican luchadora, half of a speedster, which doesn't work, and a guy who possesses people by looking in their eyes.
Yep.
I mean,
And
you
who just
want to
happens
talk
be
about...
Deathstroke's son.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Jericho, the guy who can look at you and possess you, that's one of Deathstroke's sons.
Get the out of here. I never knew that.
The more you know.
And yes, its betrayal of Terra hurts. It so hurts, especially in that final episode.
Ooh, yeah.
Ugh. But it is for me, it is a toss-up between him and Terra or him and Raven. I literally can't pick between them. Because they're both good.
It's like either one, the relationship is strong. It's like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh, these are such good characters.
Absolutely.
That's why I had to put them together.
Fair enough. So my number
Next.
three is very, very simple. How I had him here last time, because he's pretty much like one of the most iconic superheroes in comic books. Kal-El, Superman, the Man of Steel. Like we know about Superman, he is like one of the most talked about superheroes in comics. But to me, he is also he is technically the symbol of what the US stands for as well. How he actually takes that upon himself to not just protect people in America, but to actually show the ideology that America is supposed to be that person in your corner around the world. He takes that upon himself, the saying is so: truth, justice, and in the American way. Granted, though, yeah, so some of the other iterations of Superman we know are not the best. Like, and some of the recent DC animated movies, some of the, and especially in the Injustice storyline, but nothing can ever beat the whole thing with Superman in the beginning, especially in Superman All-Star. The guy was good. The guy, that comic book was literally the ending of Superman's story. He was literally dying of Kryptonian cancer, but he actually goes out of his way to talk to the people while he's dying to hear their struggles. A girl who's one committed suicide, one who's actually going through depression. He actually just sits down and talks to you. That's what people need in a hero. Yes, we like those who save you from time to time again from either a cat up in a tree or catching a robber or whatever it is. But Superman will always be that symbol of hope as what we know. And he has to go in the top spot in number 3 for me. The Man of Steel himself.
Nice.
Nate?
Alrighty. Well, time to talk about one of my personal favorite heroes in the modern era. I'm not an Avenger. I'm not Thor or Cap or Peter. I'm just a kid in a mask. Doing the best I can. But I'll never give up on this world or this city or anyone that needs me. I'm Miles Morales, and I'm Spider-Man.
Nice.
Yeah, I almost wanted to go with Peter Parker, so yeah, I almost meant to link with Eric on that one, I will admit.
Technically half, because it is still Spider-Man.
Well, yeah, kind of, just a different Spider-Man. Yeah, well, first off, Puerto Rican representation. I am Puerto Rican after all, so... Secondly, Miles' character is almost similar to Peter in a way. Like, he didn't have a really good beginning for his life. I mean, his uncle is the Prowler. He has to live up to these expectations set up by his father and his mother. He's literally tried to do everything he can to just live up to their expectations and try to be his own person. And it really shows, because after being bitten by that spider, he inadvertently becomes his own version of Spider-Man, with the addition of turning invisible and having a venom shock. And in a lot of ways, that really sums up Miles. Like, he knows that he's not like one of the biggest heroes, and he knows he's not like the original Spider-Man himself. But does that stop him? No. He still continues to do everything he could to help out everyone he can. Even if it does mean he has to go fight against his uncle. Oh. It was emotional in the comics, it was emotional in the movies, it was really, really emotional in the game. Holy crap. That ending scene alone for both Into the Spider-Verse and the Miles Morales game against Prowler, oh, both of them really hit in the feels. I feel so bad for Miles during that time. It's almost a reverse situation to Peter, where instead of losing his uncle, he had to face his own uncle. And it actually really solidifies Miles. Like, he knows that there are some difficult decisions, and does some decisions that he does work? Not a whole lot. But he still doesn't regret them. He knows what he has to do, what he can. And it actually shows that he is one of the most iconic Spider-Mans out there, which, by the way, the costume, I had to admit, I really like it. The black and red really worked out pretty well. Even when his Captain America version of the suit looks pretty cool, too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the first Spider-Verse movie, very good. The second one, I enjoyed it. But I am definitely looking forward to how the third one's going to be, especially with how it ended. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, well, I'll have my opinion as well, because I'll be seeing it tomorrow.
Yeah. I'm just hoping that they just don't make it too crazy, considering, well, his Venom shot getting knocked out Mephisto for some reason. What the hell?
Yeah, we don't know.
But yeah, that's my number 3, Miles Morales, my personal favorite Spider-Man.
Nice, nice. Alrighty. Kevin, if you're there.
Yep, I'm here.
Yep. Number 3.
Well, you know the quote, redheads, you gotta love them. I am not shitting you, Nicholas. We meant to link with Aquaman.
Wow, what is up with the freaking mental links this video?
This video's crazy.
I know.
Yes, it is.
You know what? You know why it's crazy? Because Eric's back. That's why. It's hype. Anyways, I'll go quick with this because it's getting late, so I want to go to sleep. So, Arthur Curry, the son of a human and a human man and an Atlantean woman, pretty much ostracized from Atlantis because he's a half-breed. Land was decent with him. Ended up earning his journey to become king of Atlantis. He's an honorable man. He tries to protect both that and the surface world because it's both his homes. He's the best of both worlds. I know people made fun of him. Let's be honest. A lot of people made fun of him because, oh, he talks to fish. It's so funny.
Yeah.
No, he can summon waves. He can summon animals. He has super strength that could maybe hurt Superman. Like, guys, come on. He's just he's more than just, oh, I talk to fish and hear their thoughts. Like, come on. Still, he's a great character. I really enjoyed him. And I loved when he fought his in Justice game. Our Prime Aquaman fought his Injustice counterpart just because he was surrendering Atlantean tech. He's like, "You're not worthy of being king." I'm like, "Ooh!" When one version you roasts you, you know you fucked up. So, like like everyone said, Jason Momoa was awesome. Though I do like the Aquaman in Young Justice. I do like his voice as well. So I'm gonna watch the Aquaman sequel just because I want to. Yeah, maybe Mero's still being there, but you know what? It's his last ride, guys. One last ride before Jason Momoa becomes Lobo. So I gotta watch it. He's my man. He's the main man. So that's my number 3.
And we don't know if he is gonna become Lobo. He was in talks that maybe he could still be Aquaman.
Hey, that'd be awesome.
Oh, that's the case. I'd be happy.
He's the bro.
Alrighty.
Wait,
guys.
One more thing. My favorite quote in the Snyderverse version when Flash hits Aquaman, he's like,
"I am so sorry."
That was funny. Okay, sorry.
We're almost there, guys. Number 2.
All right, number 2, guys. You will give the people of Earth an ideal to strive towards. They will rest behind you. They will stumble. They will fall. But in time, they will join you in the sun, Kal. Kal-El of Krypton, Clark Joseph Kent of Smallville, and DC's Superman.
Nice.
There's so much Superman love. Of
course, he's what started the superhero genre. He's the mascot of a comic book. But yeah, so Superman. What can I say about this guy that people haven't already said about him already? He's the emblem of likability. He's the emblem of justice. He is a symbol of hope. He's what brings the whole DC universe and the world together. So, okay, I know we've all talked about the previous version. And I know, like we said before, some versions of the Superman adaptations are not great, like Injustice. And I know there's a mixed interpretation out there that I happen to be leaning towards. Zachary Edward Snyder, man, you brought the complexity from the simplicity of this character. So I'm gonna go on a speed run hot take of why Zack Snyder's Superman is, in recent memory, a pretty damn good one. Superman is a very fundamentally isolated character, so he explores that element. The fact that he's an immigrant alien from another world living among humanity. And that was hammered home in Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman. But then when he gave up his life against Doomsday, the whole world actually accepted and acknowledged him. And in Zack Snyder's Justice League, everybody realizes, yes, we need another hero like Superman to look over our world again. Which is why someone like Bruce Wayne would actually go out of his way to honor his legacy, rediscover how to be a hero again, and show the other metahumans of the Justice League that justice doesn't have to come from the darkness anymore. It could come from something as simple as faith. So when Superman is resurrected, he's had time to process his Kryptonian and human selves, dons the black suit, akin to Luke fucking Skywalker. He dons the black suit, has become super confident, powerful, and wiser. He's become who he was meant to be, Superman. I was so invested in the Snyderverse that I actually wanted him to see him do a speech in Capitol Hill that brings Amazons, Atlanteans, Green Lanterns, and armies together.
Are you done?
Okay.
Are you done, dude? Like, are you done?
Yes, I'm done. That was my speed run. Superman, guys.
Wow.
All right, Nicholas, number 2.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I could do this all day.
Oh,
Steve Rogers.
Yes, Captain America.
It took us that long to get the icon of America.
Yes. Now, the super soldier serum worked successfully on him. And then the guy who got died. So he's literally one of a kind.
mm-hmm.
And god damn it, does he float around. Super strong, super fast, heightened senses, or as he puts it, he can see faster. Why was it put like that?
I don't know.
And then the freaking shield. Vibranium, adamantium combination, and he hurls that motherfucker like nobody's business. The sacrifices this guy has made. I mean, he's literally over 100 years old because he froze himself trying to save all of the world from Nazis.
Mm-hmm.
Damn dedication right there. Yeah. And yes, symbol has evolved. Now it's more than just, America good. It's the idea of freedom and fighting for what's right. And god damn it, that last scene with him in the MCU. Perfect journey. Because the entire run in the MCU, he has been selfless.
Mm-hmm.
For once, he was selfish.
For the good reason.
I mean, yeah. And just like America, it does not belong to Steve Rogers. Many people have held it. And every one of them has to prove it. That's what makes this character special.
Oh, always.
Yeah. And I'm excited for New World Order, man.
Yeah, I'll watch it.
And it's the new Captain America too. Yeah.
All right, so my number 2 is we're gonna go from one Avenger to another, which is always one that had a civil war, because he is Iron Man.
What? So, are you, Nicholas, gonna have a problem right now, or?
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, considering they always bashing each other for the waifus, yeah.
That's also true. But yeah, no. Anthony Tony Stark, Iron Man. Yeah, this guy was probably one of the first Marvel characters I was really exposed to in the MCU, because his movie was the first. But it was just also the journey, like how he was incorporated in almost every single one of their stories. How the whole Infinity Saga started with him, and it ended with him. That's how you know, like, this guy is basically the whole meaning of what the team is trying to glue behind. Like, I mean, yes, they bashed each other's heads with ideologies, both in Sokovia Accords, and then we were trying to figure out what to do with Ultron and just everything else about that. But when it came down to Endgame, they came together to fix what they got was wrong. How they separated. That yes, if we fail, we'll fail together. But you always know you have to win together is the only way to win. And Tony took that to the grave as best as he could to be that savior of the hero that we know. So that's why my number 2 is Iron Man.
Nice.
So Nate, going off to you, man.
Well, my second and last tie, actually, Interesting how I had two MCU characters for that tie. This time, it's a Marvel and DC character, and they're both my personal favorites. Start off, I'm not going to kill you. I want you to do me a favor. I'll tell you all your friends. I'm Batman. Yep, Bruce Wayne Batman. He's back. But let's talk about my favorite Marvel character. I'm not seeking penance for what I've done, Father. I'm asking for forgiveness for what I'm about to do. The man without fear, Matt Murdock, Daredevil.
Yo!
Yep. Famous people by day, badass vigilantes, heroes by night. I'll go real quick with Bruce Wayne for this one, because how many times have we talked about him?
I don't know.
Yeah, Bruce Wayne Batman, one of the heads of the Justice League, one of the icons of DC, sad backstory, became one of the best vigilantes, one of the best characters in comics, great animated series, great interpretations. I really love Robert Pattinson's, Christian Bale's, Roger Craig Smith, and of course, the late Kevin Conroy. And of course, my other favorite live action Batman, Michael freaking Keaton.
Yeah.
And admittedly, like, him and Kevin Conroy, those were my first exposure to Batman, I'm being honest.
Well, that's because they came out first.
Yep. And it really captured the dark aspect for Batman. And it really shows, because even though Batman does utilize fear in a way against his opponents, yeah, he doesn't kill anyone. And it really shows that he went from like one guy to having a big Bat family to a Justice League family. Man, that guy came a long, long way.
Yeah.
But enough about Batman. Let's talk about my favorite Marvel character, Daredevil. My first exposure to Daredevil was during the 90s Spider-Man cartoon, surprisingly, when he made that special guest appearance. I was surprised on what he was. It's like, oh, a Spider-Man character? Huh. Then I decided to look at the comics. I became invested in those comics when I read them. Oh, man. Yeah, how he got those powers, through an accident, of course. Chemicals, it made him blind, but it also enhances his other senses, too. Which makes him like one of the first disabled superheroes I've seen in the comics, and it's honestly really admirable.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't let that blindness get to him. After seeing like all the rough crimes, he decided to take matters into his own hands. He studied criminology and literally became one of the best lawyers that you could hope for. But that wasn't enough, was it? Nope. Thanks to Kingpin, Bullseye, and other criminals that lurk in the shadows, Matt decided to take things into his own hands and becomes the man without fear, Daredevil. Literally taking out bad guys left and right, all the while having a bit of honor to him. Some people call him a devil, but other people think of him as an angel too, ironically.
Yep.
It's very fitting considering he has horns for his costume, which makes a lot of sense. And some people think that Daredevil is all serious and all that. Well, I don't know. I mean, he showed up at a Christmas party and he's wearing a sweater that says, "I'm not Daredevil."
Yeah.
He has a sense of humor. He's very deadpan about it, but he has a witty sense of humor when he wants to.
I'm just a really good lawyer.
That was a really good one. But yeah, we're not going to mention that shitty ass movie. No way. We're going to be talking about Charlie Cox's Netflix Daredevil. Adapting the comic book lines left to right, even adapting one of my personal favorite storylines, Born Again. Because it was Matt Murdock at his lowest thanks to Kingpin. He was struggling. He was doubting himself. But he was able to overcome that struggle with one of the best brawls I have seen in any television. That was amazing. And no CG on top of that. It was all choreography. That itself is amazing. And the line that he said to Kingpin in the end. Yeah, the fact that Charlie Cox came back in the MCU in that special cameo in No Way Home, no lie, I did scream when I saw that cameo. And
Yep,
yeah,
just
She-Hulk. Great. Good news for you, Peter. The charges are you are gone.
yeah.
That was a really good cameo. And Brandon, you freaking called that too. And yeah, She-Hulk, not the best series, but I will admit, the Daredevil episode, it did make me smile. Even seeing that golden suit. And after giving that smirk to She-Hulk, next scene.
Next thing, they're button uglies.
Can't believe he smashed a hole. What a Chad.
Yeah,
He is a
literally
Chad.
a Chad. I mean, he's literally a Chad. If he's able to charm She-Hulk and Elektra, you know he's doing something right. But yeah, Batman, my favorite DC character, and Matt Murdock, Daredevil, will always be my favorite Marvel character. That's why I had to tie these two in number 2. Heroes by day, badass heroes at night.
Nice. Alrighty, Kev.
Last tie.
Ooh.
One guy, he's the best there is at what he does. And what he does ain't very nice. Yeah, Wolverine.
Ooh.
Although, with this other guy, if you ever met Wolverine, all I can say is he'd say this. Wolverine, you have failed this city. Green Arrow.
Wow. Wolverine and Green Arrow.
Like the last list, yep. All right. So go real quick. Pretty much Wolverine has pretty much most fucked up life in most comics. Pretty much he was a sickly kid who accidentally killed his dad when he woke in his mutant powers. Then pretty much lived through 2 wars and got experimented on by Weapon X to get a chrome job. Then he lost his memories, yada yada yada. Then he became an X-Man. Pretty much self-explanatory. Though honestly, that's just awesome. I mean, the fact that he fought in the Civil War and then World War, I think 1 and 2, like this man is amazing. Despite being a shorty. Oh, he's so short.
He is. He's the shortest comic character, I swear.
It's like Edward Elric. Mess up with his size.
Yeah, but Edward Elric doesn't have claws. I can literally cut through anything. So I
literally.
I mean, but still, it's just like Wolverine's just a badass. Like being able to cut through anything with his claws, his healing factor, the ability to smell. It's just interesting. He's a wild animal, but he's not that edgy. He's had moments where he's fatherly, like in X-Men Evolution. He was a dad to everyone, like especially Rogue. I like that. You know, it shows that he can be someone else. And my favorite version, Steve Bloom. Oh yes, I love his portrayal, and I even love when he fought Hulk in that animated special. That was great. Oh my god, the way he cut off Deadpool's arm. Oh, that's my arm. Okay, hang on. Let me just put it back together. Son of a bitch, is it wrong way? It was funny. Although, god damn, like we can all say a lot about the X-Men films. Hugh Jackman Wolverine, still the best part. And Logan,
oh man,
dude,
Please,
that movie is the most depressing superhero movie I've ever seen, and I've seen Infinity War and Endgame. All right, like this just it sucks how hard it hit. But still, I'm curious about how Hugh Jackman's going to come back as Wolverine in Deadpool 3. Who knows? It'll be interesting. Now let's move on to the man with the Green Arrow, a.k.a. the Green Arrow. No, it's not Robin Hood. No. Pretty much a rich snob, Oliver Queen, got on a boat one time, got drunk, ended up on an island for about a year or few, learned how to be an archer, lost his parents, and decided to, wait a minute. This sounds familiar. Rich, lost his family, trained to become a badass. This guy's Batman, but with arrows. Which, I mean, it's kind of true.
It's not 100% wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Though what I like about Green Arrow is that he doesn't really take shit seriously. Like he's always quipping, though, unless you watch the Arrow version. But still, it's great. I like like he takes a lot of jabs at everyone. Like even in Injustice, he just makes a lot of jokes, especially against like Gorilla Grodd. He's like, "Got any monkey chow?" And then even's like, "I get we got to team up with Harley Quinn, but really, her of all people?" He's just funny. Plus, he's like Hawkeye. He has different arrows: explosion arrows, trick arrows, diamond arrows, just an assortment of arrows. Plus, guys, he's like one of the few humans in the Justice League. Like, come on, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I just
Being
love
Batman,
that.
yeah.
I just like his different costumes. I like his different outfits. Also, he has the Arrow Cave and the Arrow Car. If it can't be, it can't be any more meta than that. Like, goddamn, it's hilarious.
And
And-
even though Harley Quinn gave him a better name, called the Quiver.
Damn it, that's a good name.
Aww.
I'm like,
That's why I
damn.
love Harley.
Yeah. Too bad Oliver died in that stupid ass Justice movie.
Yeah.
Like
And
everyone.
also, and Arrow, I know Arrow has a mixed bag, but still, Stephen Amell was great. Oliver Queen and Green Arrow,
Oh,
I thought
yeah.
he was great.
It was
I'm
so
gonna
cool. It
cosplay
was
as
so
him.
cool seeing him again at the end.
Yeah, I'm gonna cosplay as Green Arrow because, goddamn, he's just such a great character. I know people are like, "Oh, but Hawkeye's the best archer." Yeah, but in terms of character, I go with Green Arrow. He's plus that goddamn goatee, guys. Like, damn, it's sexy. That's my tie. Wolverine and Green Arrow.
Oh, you
I'm
forgot
gonna
the
go-
most important thing about Green Arrow.
What?
He
Oh.
smashed Black Canary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he smashed that. Woo!
Plus, I'm like
Oh,
one of the few people that actually like both Green Arrow and Hawkeye equally. I like both.
Nah. Fuck that circus freak. It's Green Arrow all the way.
Damn.
Alrighty,
One
so-
for equality then.
Let's go ahead and go into some honorable mentions for you guys.
T'Challa, Black Panther.
Black Panther.
Shang-Chi.
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 Iron Man.
The Flash. Barry Allen.
Jaime Reyes' Blue Beetle. And Ted Kord.
Jaime Reyes, the Blue Beetle.
Batman.
Peter Parker, Spider-Man.
The Spectacular Spooderman. Rick Grimes. The Walking Dead.
Matt Murdock's Daredevil.
Matt Murdock, Daredevil.
The Daredevil.
Cyborg.
Jack O'Lantern.
Thor Odinson.
Thor Odin's son.
Captain America.
Steve Rogers, Captain America. The Phantom Stranger.
Oliver Queen, Green Arrow.
Oliver Queen, Green Arrow.
The Hulk.
John Jones's Martian Manhunter.
Drax the Destroyer.
Clint Barton, Hawkeye.
Hellboy.
Hellboy.
Guy Gardner, aka Green Lantern.
Dr. Fate.
Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic.
Jon Stewart's Green Lantern.
John Stewart.
Luke Cage.
Arthur Curry, Aquaman.
Star-Lord.
Danny Rand's Iron Fist.
Iron Fist.
Iron Fist.
Rocket the Raccoon.
Rock Raccoon.
Scott Lang's Ant-Man.
Vision.
James Buchanan Barnes, Winter Soldier.
James Buchanan Bucky Barnes.
Tim Drake's Robin.
Oh, hey, Tim Drake.
Tim Drake, Robin.
Miles Morales, aka Kid Arachnid.
Wolverine.
Red Tornado.
Don Diego de la Vega, Zorro.
Ben Grimm, The Thing.
Jonah Hex.
Plastic Man.
Terry McGinnis, Batman Beyond.
Colonel Rick Flag.
Question.
What question?
That's his
Who?
name. That's his name. Question.
What's the question?
What's the question? Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. That's why I'm asking you the question.
But what is the question? You can't say it's the question if it's not. What's the question?
Kevin, I will punch you. Shut up.
You shut up. All right, let's finish this, please.
He's a good. He's a no-face guy that had a relationship with Huntress.
I know. I'm.
We know who he is.
I know.
Or do we?
Oh, for God's sake, please go, Eric. I'm emotionally drained.
Oh, wait, we're doing number ones?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Number one.
Okay. What was it? Okay. Here's my first character for the number one, and this is my last tie.
Oh.
I bet your parents taught you that you mean something, that you were here for a reason. My parents taught me a different lesson, as they died in the gutter for no reason. They told me that the world only makes sense when you force it to. Bruce Wayne, Batman. And I'm not going to lie, when I was getting into superheroes for the first time in high school, junior year, that was around the same year that The Dark Knight Rises came out, alongside Avengers. I had to do my homework, so I caught up on the Dark Knight trilogy. Batman was my first superhero that I got into, man.
Yeah, man. We talked about Batman all the time.
Yeah, we talked about Batman like crazy, like freaking
Batman.
Yeah, and like, what was it? So we all know the origin. 8-year-old boy walks into an alley with his parents after seeing a movie theater, after seeing a theatrical showing. They get gunned down. He's filled with anger, resentment, and hate for and revenge against the criminal element of Gotham City. That's all he thinks about, avenging his parents. So what does he do? He spends his wealth, travels around the world, learning everything he can in criminology, 127 different fighting styles, con artistry, escape artistry, etc. Let's just say he's just a man with a particular set of skills as Batman. But also as a de facto leader of the Justice League, he's the one that is able to coordinate with the team and essentially coordinate with a bunch of gods, essentially, to defend the world. And of course, a lot of that tension comes with Superman, where their ideologies tend to clash. But at the end, and yes, Bruce Wayne is a flawed, crazy person. Sometimes he's even angry, stubborn, and even abusive. But he's still a good man. He knows when he screws up. And you see that through all the Robins. Oh, speaking of my other tie, there is good and there is evil. The two sides are as opposite, as clear as night and day. Richard John Grayson, the first Robin, and he became Nightwing.
Yeah.
Now, in more recent memory, Nightwing has been my favorite hero lately because he's the living definition of of a young man constantly rediscovering himself and self-improving onwards. He was 12 years old when he watched his parents get killed in the middle of a circus performance, and Bruce Wayne was watching that performance. So of course,
what a coincidence!
Yeah, like you said before, the parallels between Bruce and Dick are made very, very clear. They watched their parents die. They were powerless to do anything, so naturally they bonded like father and son. But of course, because Bruce Wayne is an angry loner, Dick Grayson not only didn't want to stay in Bruce's shadow, but he also didn't want to be angry and isolated just like him.
So he had to figure out who he wanted to be. Well, of course, being a cop in Bloodhaven didn't work, so he had to figure out who he was outside of Robin, and that's when he became he became a leader of the Teen Titans as Robin, and of course, because of his growth with that team, he became Nightwing. And now he's one of fun fact Easter egg. Recently in Nightwing number 100, he was invited to join the Justice League, and Bruce Wayne said to him, "I'm proud of you, son."
Yes.
So,
I remember reading that, and I had a big smile on my face.
So, the last thing I will say about Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson is that they are very, very much alike in the sense that Dick Grayson possesses a lot of Bruce's charisma and empathy, but he also possesses a lot of his anger and obsession. But they still try to be the best that they can. They're both very capable leaders. They're very charismatic and persuasive. But yeah, my last tie for number one, the original dynamic duo of comics, Batman and Nightwing.
And also, quick shout out, guys. You see what me and Eric's shirts are?
Oh, yeah.
What a coincidence.
No coincidence? I think not.
I think not.
Dude, I've been wearing
I
this tank top
think
lately
not.
every time I hit the gym. Everybody recognizes this now.
That's your icon symbol, bro.
Hell yeah.
Dick
All right.
Grayson. He's good.
Alrighty. Nicholas, your number one, please.
Like there was ever a freaking question who my number one was gonna be. Spider-Man. Radioactive Spider-Man.
Guys, we can't sing the song, otherwise we'll get a copyright strike.
Look, yes, Peter Parker. It was probably my first exposure to superheroes, specifically the '90s cartoon.
Yes.
And even though I was just a little kid, I definitely related to him on a lot of stuff. And god damn it, does this guy never catch a break? First his uncle, then his girlfriend, then in some iterations his aunt, then his second girlfriend, and it goes on and on and on. Look, I get that you want to feel bad for him, but at some point you just gotta say enough's enough. Let him be happy.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It's instead of just being laid half the freaking time.
I know he's got so many girlfriends, but however, the top three for me, in order: MJ, Black Cat, Kitty Pryde.
Okay.
Oh,
Yes, apparently it's an all feline thing. I don't get it either, but the guy is smart. The guy is driven. He's got incredible powers, and I do follow his lessons more than pretty much any hero. With great power comes great responsibility. You have to stand up for this, otherwise nothing changes.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody can do that, and you don't even need a superpower to do it. Speaking of also, a lot of his villains are dark reflections of himself. Green Goblin, Mad Scientist, Doc Ock, what he probably would have become without a support group. Venom is literally the opposite of him in every way.
Yep.
Yeah. And god damn it, do these fights hurt. Yeah. A lot of great fights in the cartoons and movies. Yes. But if I had to pick my personal... Oh, I can't even do that. It's really hard to pick a good one.
That's
Just
fair.
one. Even the video games are badass.
Oh yeah, a lot of them are.
Of them are.
Those are really great Spider-Man. Like,
I know. And I am so excited for the sequel.
Oh yeah.
Spider-Man 2. We got another black suit game, boys.
and with
Yeah.
fucking Tony Todd.
Yes. I cannot wait. It was never a question who it was going to be. That's my number one.
Fair enough.
Nice.
So my number one is pretty simple. If everyone follows me on my personal life, Hey, excuse me, bad guy. Hey, how's it going? Name's Spider-Man. You call me amazing, you call me wall crawler. Just don't call me late for dinner.
Dude,
Yeah,
how many-
buddy.
Absolutely. Like, there's no other person besides Spider-Man to be my number one. Because he was my first superhero growing up. The Spider-Man animated series and the Batman animated series are the ones I follow the most, but Spider-Man is always what I go into. Just he's a kid at heart trying to play a hero. But when things get real is when the message really shines. How you can't act like that all the time. You have to take what you're doing seriously to save these people of New York, to go against these threats. Like we just said, with great power comes a great responsibility. You have to own it, and you have to actually step up beyond that to really show that yes, you have all this amazing power, but it's how you use it is what really is going to make you who you are. All of the Spider-Mans that we know from the video games, comics, TV shows, movies. And I'm gonna say it. I'm probably one of the few people in the percentage, but my personal favorite Spider-Man, I'm gonna be honest, it is actually Andrew Garfield. I like Andrew Garfield's interpretation of Spider-Man.
I am
It's
not
so
the
good.
only one. I am not the only one. Thank you.
Like we know, yes, he captures like he tended to be a jerk, but that's how Peter Parker was in the original comics. And he captures the humor and the awkwardness so well as Spider-Man, just cracking the jokes one after another. It's literally the animated Spider-Man TV show come to life through Andrew Garfield, and I like that.
You're gonna dress up like
Oh,
you're gonna have to dress up like a real car thief.
But yeah, just
and
how they captured the most iconic thing in comic book history. The death of Gwen Stacy. How they captured it. But then they had the balls. They had the fucking balls to actually redeem that and make him save MJ in the MCU.
Tom
And it
Holland,
worked.
Andrew
I'm like-
Garfield, and Tobey Maguire all together. It's a dream come true.
Just Andrew Garfield saved this someone who's not even his girlfriend, but he was able to save her. He was able to redeem himself.
And you watch that scene you can see that he's played that scene in his head 1,000 times, trying to get it, figure out what he did wrong.
I even love how you told Tom to not be like him.
I was screaming at the top of my lungs when I saw Andrew Garfield come back.
You and me both.
Everybody in my theater did that.
Oh my gosh, this is why Spider-Man is such an iconic character. All the other Spider-Man that we know are great. Peter Parker, Ben Reilly, Miguel O'Hara, Miles Morales. Just everything of Spider-Man's stories are so endearing, and that's why he has to be my number one as my favorite Marvel characters, superhero character, childhood character, whatever you want to say. That's my number one. The Amazing Spider-Man. Go ahead, Nate.
Alrighty, I mentioned some Marvels, I mentioned some DC. Let's go with the Dark Horse in this one. Alright, guys, enough stalling. Let's go fight some monsters. Yep. Hellboy.
Damn.
Mm-hmm. Everyone has their own introduction to what their favorite superhero is. Ironically, my first introduction was actually through Hellboy. Ironically. Yeah, weird that his name doesn't sound heroic at all, but if you really think about it, can you really blame him? He was forced on this dark destiny. He was meant to bring the apocalypse. But after being brought to the human world and being raised by Dr. Broom and the BPRD, he decided to become a force for good. And it really sums it up. He's just like an average guy that just wants to have a normal life. But he does want to save the world part-time. And it really, in a lot of ways, I do look up to Hellboy for that reason. Like, you do have to work hard for what you have to do. but you can also just be yourself and just be relaxed about it all the time, and I actually admired that. And it really shows with his interactions with Ape Sapien, Sherman, and Cross. All of these interactions that he has over the years was just amazing. And of course, the powers he has was like pretty good. The right hand of doom and his signature big shot handgun. Literally, he has to get like a big one just because he's a shitty shot.
Yeah.
But that does not stop him. And even though people tempt him to go into that dark destiny, he still says no to it. He still works hard to try to be a force for good. And like Ben Grimm in The Thing, he's not human. He's a literal demon.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a demon with a heart of gold, and he definitely has some of like the best lines I have ever seen in comics, and definitely one of the best storylines. My personal favorite is Seed of Destruction and The Wild Hunt, as that really solidifies Hellboy's journey. And of course, I cannot get away without talking about it without two things. One, Injustice 2. His gameplay and the lines he has was just hilarious.
Yeah, that reveal like surprised everybody.
Yeah, and it was a great way to bring back the Big Red into this one. And of course, we all know it, we all love it. The original Hellboy movies with Ron freaking Perlman. Not only the makeup looks great, but he definitely captures the character perfectly, especially in the first and the second movie, with my favorite scene being where he and Abe are having love issues. So what was the solution?
All right, I'm gonna need a beer too.
They get drunk while singing a love song. That cannot get as beautiful as that. That is just like, it really sums up Boy. Like, yeah, he's a hero, but deep down, yeah, he is a bit of a child at times during those tantrums, but
that ironically could not be a more human scene.
Mm-hmm. But even with that, he's just a down-to-earth guy and very friendly. I look up to him, and I'm hoping to God to get like an actual good Hellboy movie after what they did in a shitty film.
What are you talking about? There was only 2 movies.
We are. We're getting another one though. We're getting another reboot.
Oh,
again?
Yep.
God damn! It's just like Spider-Man. We're getting so many reboots.
Yeah, but Hellboy really deserves it. Not only he's one of the most underrated heroes, but he's my personal favorite hero. That's why he's my number one.
All right. Time to finish this now because I'm pretty sure everyone wants to go to sleep. My number 1 is Nightwing. Wait, oh yeah, I meant to link with Eric.
You meant to link with Eric again.
Last mental link, boys. Last mental link. I know. All right. I think everyone who knows me, I love Nightwing. He's one of my favorite characters because he was Robin. He was pretty much the adopted son of Bruce Wayne. But then he started growing out of Robin and then wanted to become his own hero. So he took the name of an alien hero from Krypton, codenamed Nightwing. And he started to be himself, and I like that. He's Batman, but he's more charismatic, more fun-loving, and I like that. Even though he can't get serious, he still has that humanity. And I like that he never wants to be Batman because he knows he can't be the Batman. He could try, but he can't live up to that legacy. And while he and Bruce have this kind of tension, they still love each other, and I respect that. Hell, he even loves the other Robins. He loves Jason Todd, even though they have differences. That he loves Tim Drake, and yeah, I guess he does care about Damian Wayne to an extent. So I'll say that. Though we don't talk about Injustice.
Dude, they're younger brother, older brother, man. Don't say to an extent.
To an extent, Mr. Graham. Anyways, also just the fact that he leads the Titans and knocked up that goddamn goddess that is Starfire. Just damn, boy, he got lucky. Like, damn. Yep.
He literally got a bombshell that's literally wifey material.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
wholesome wifey material.
Exactly.
Unlike some other comic characters.
Anyways,
yeah,
but
we don't talk about that.
Yeah, but overall, yeah, Nightwing's just he's a good hero with a lot of sarcasm, a lot of heart. Plus, I just love how he fights with his excrement sticks. Like, I don't know what it is. I just like the fact that he does that. Plus, his jokes sometimes, like in Arkham Knight when he beat up Penguin's man. He's like, "Sorry, boss, we can't open the elevator." Why the hell not? We just got our asses kicked. Wait, who is? Oh no, sit tight. Yep, that's right. Sit tight, Ozzy. I'll get you out of there and right back to his cell. I'm like, dude, you're such a dick.
Oh yeah, like how
It's
he even
his
says
meme.
Batman like, well, this is you handling it, right?
Yeah. Just overall, Nightwing. Oh, I wish Titans was good because the actor wasn't bad. The Titans version of Nightwing could have been good. The actor was decent, but
The
just give
writing
me a
is the
good
problem.
give me a good live action Nightwing and we're good. That's my number one. Sorry.
Hopefully, I can make that wish granted for you, Kevin.
We'll see, but this is the redo list, guys. And hopefully YouTube does not strike this down, please.
If it does, I will burn everything.
So
I will punch a motherfucker.
let us know who are your favorite comic book characters in the comments, and we are curious to know. Have a good night.